Hi everyone. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to configure your Synology NAS as a mail server so you can send and receive email with the Mail Plus server package. So if you need maybe some more details on the prerequisites and what will be done inside this video, you can check my last video, I think the number 25, so you can have more details. So I will make with you a live configuration of all the devices. So just to make a quick recap on the architecture, so we have our domain, DNS and mail provider, which is OVH. We have our Sophos device, which will be used only for NAT. And we have our NAS with the packages, and we will configure a bunch of things inside the NAS. So it will be the DDNS name, the a lot of things, the certificates, the firewall, etc. So we will see all of this, which was already explained in the latest video. So I'm just gonna go on, and those are all the details that we will need to work on this video. So I bought for this video for you guys, I bought the domain lab01.ovh, and we are going to create a dynamic DNS record, which will be this fully qualified domain name. We will use the user test in our NAS, and it will have an email address of test@lab01.ch. Of course, we will need our smart host, so our relay server, which will be the OVH provider, and we will have a username called relay, which will have this email address. And those are the smart host settings, the relay settings that we will use in this video. And here we have a bunch of DNS stuff that we will talk later. So as I told you, as I don't have a lab environment, we will make a simple but a working and full working example with this semi-lab environment. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the phases of the installation of the Mail Plus server package and mail packages because it's already installed and I cannot uninstall for this video. So just to start, before we go hands-on in the experience, we need to configure our user the Synology Mail Plus and Mail Plus server application privileges. Okay, so this is the thing that our user needs to be able to use those packages. Okay, so now let's hop into the configuration. So you just installed the packages, and of course you have to configure the first thing that you have to configure is the ports. Okay, so we have the HTTP port 8015 that we will not use because we never use HTTP, and we will only use the HTTPS service on the port 8016. Now, as we said, we need to configure the dynamic DNS record. So we just do it now. I think it was just that I take it from here. Okay. So we will just use a simple example with Synology. We agree with the term of service. And here it's going to ask us if we would like to automatically get a certificate and set it by default. I'm gonna say no because I would like to show you guys everything that needs to be done. Okay, so now we have our DDNS fully qualified domain name, so that's good. Now we need to create also the certificate. So just remember, guys, that we also need if I can switch, I just have a problem to switch tabs. Oh, that's not good. Can I? Okay, so we will need to configure the NAT rule in order to allow the generation of the certificate. Okay, as you know, we will make an outgoing request, and the Let's Encrypt servers are going to connect to our NAS to to verify that we are the owner of the system and the domain. And of course, we need to allow the traffic, and here it will be on the port 80. So this is our NAT rule that will say that for traffic coming from the internet using the service HTTP, for our one interface, it needs to change the destination to the NAS and still use the same HTTP service. Okay, so this is mandatory. This is our first rule. Then inside of the security in the firewall, you also have to configure the port 80 here. So if we look inside this rule, what we will have in the firewall rule, we're just going to allow the destination TCP port number 80. I will not go through the other thing because this is for when we'll be later in this video. And the source IP, well, it will be the entire internet because I do not know where the Let's Encrypt servers are. Probably in the United States, so I could use a location setting, but we will have an example with that later. And of course, the action will be to allow this traffic. Now, just a quick thing that I would like to point out with the Synology firewall, it is only an incoming firewall, okay? And you have different types of interfaces. You have all interfaces, so that means that all those rules will apply. It will not depend on which interface the traffic is going to, on which traffic it's receiving the network traffic. So on my side, because I don't need to have a lot of different kind of rules, I'm only using the old interfaces tab, and I'm making all my firewall rules inside the same place. Now it is very important that, as you can see here, I have a explicit deny. This is extremely important because if you do not put this line, that means that if nothing here is matched, it will go on the other interfaces. As you can see here, if no rules in all interfaces are matched, rules in each interface will be matched. So just by security, I'm going to put this line. Now, as you can see, in the LAN 1 interface, I have, if no rules are matched, I'm going to deny access. So actually, if on every interface I'm doing deny access, then I don't need this last line. Okay, but I discovered that I made a mistake myself, but fortunately I was protected with this last line because all the interfaces where if no rules are matched, it needed to allow access. So this was a vulnerability that I fortunately did not have because of this line. Okay, so this is everything we need for the Let's Encrypt certificate creation. So now let's go to the certificate tab. So I'm going to ask one. I'm going to add a new certificate. I'm going to get a certificate from Let's Encrypt, and I'm going to say here the domain name should be mailtest1.synology.me. Okay, the email I'm going to say test at lab01.ovh. And just, we never know, I'm going to also put it in the subject alternative name. Usually it's more for browser related stuff, but still I'm going to do it this way. So let's see if it works. Let's cross our fingers. Okay, so now we have our certificate. Now we have to how do you call this? You need to assign the certificate to the different Mail Plus service, server service. So here, okay, where is it? Okay, and here, okay, let me see. yeah, this one. So the postfix is to send email, the dovecote is for POP3 and IMAP, so it's to receive and synchronize email on your client device. And this is the web interface of the Mail Plus package. So okay, we have assigned the certificate and we just put okay. Now, just to be sure that it's working, so I'm going to have this address, just press enter. And as you can see here, we have access to our NAS without any certificate error for the Mail Plus package. So that is just, this is just perfect. Now, what do we have to configure next? Let's just see our slide. So we have done the DDNS, the Let's Encrypt, and the package port assignment. And now we need to create the Synology firewall configuration to receive email, to be able to receive emails on our NAS. So let's go back to the firewall rules. Okay, so how to safely configure everything. So for this rule, as you see, we need to allow other mail servers in the world to connect to our Synology NAS. Okay, so we need to say that source IP is everywhere in the world for the port 25, and we need to allow the specific traffic. So this is mail server to mail server communication. Now we have the client devices, okay? So we have three rules. We have the SMTP port, so your client devices like your mobile phones, for example, or your built-in mail application on your phone or on your computer, so on your Windows and your Mac, for example, the mail application, we will need to allow them locally from our network, and also stating that from Switzerland it must be working. So I'm seeing here that there is a little mistake. It should be the 1816. Just let me see. Just need to correct. Sorry, guys. Okay, perfect. So I think that before it worked because probably it considered also, Switzerland as local, but this I'm not that sure. So anyway, just create the rules for your internal network so you can access everything, and also from Switzerland, because I'm going to go outside on a public hotspot, for example, in Switzerland, and I want to be able to access those services, but I don't want other countries to be able to access those services. So I'm just putting here in this rule that for the ports 587 and 8016, so the SMTP port and the Mail Plus package port, for the location, so it's Switzerland, it's CH, I'm going to enable this rule, to enable this country, and the action will be to allow. So this is for the firewall rules. Now I'm just going to click on OK and to click on apply. Okay, this is done. And if we go to our router for the NAT rules, we have to do the same thing, but in terms of network address translation or port forwarding, we need to say that for any kind of IP addresses in the world, so it can be inside, it can be outside your local network, if it comes into the TCP 25 port on the WAN interface, we need to redirect it to the NAS. The same thing for the SMTPS traffic, so the 587 TCP port, we need to do the same thing. And also, of course, for the, if you want to access the mail plus package from the internet, of course. So you need to have all those NAT rules and the corresponding firewall rules that we have seen before. Okay, so this is for this this part. So we have done all of this so far. So now let's make the basic DNS configuration. So on our on my OVH system, okay, I'm going to say, so for my domain on the DNS zone, I'm going to create a new entry. So this is completely empty. My DNS zone is empty for my domain. It just, this is the basic thing that come with the domain, which are the DNS servers that will handle my domain. Okay, so this is the OVH name servers. Now we have also a basic MX record to receive emails. So if someone from the internet sends me an email to my domain, to a user in my domain, it will forward the email, of course, to the OVH mail provider, not on my NAS yet. So this is what we are going to configure now. We're going to add an entry. It will be an MX entry. And here we need to say, so the TTL, we can give it by default. I guess it's 60 minutes. The priority is 1. The lower the priority, it means that the email will be sent to the server which has the lower priority. So this, it will be our NAS. And the target will be, maybe I can do this with a dot at the end because it's the end of the entry. And we will just say next. So it will send the email to our NAS. But now we have to change also the priority of the default MX record, because if it's the same value, that means that one time it will send it to the NAS, and one time it will you will receive the email on the OVH mail server, which you don't want. So we will just modify the priority of the record. So let's say like 2. Okay, this will be enough. So now I'm sure that if every time someone tries to send me an email, it will go to my NAS. If my NAS is unresponsive, then it will go to the OVH mail server. Okay, so this is the basic thing. Now it is important to point out to you guys that it is that you will have 2 records. You will have the first record, which is your A-type DNS record. This is that when you registered to the Synology Dynamic DNS, they say that with this domain, you will resolve to your IP. This is the first one, and it is very important. This is implicit. Now, the second basic DNS record is to create this MX record. The sending mail server, like a Yahoo mail server, for example, will search for this specific entry. Okay, so this is the basic thing. Now let's go back to our NAS. We will go, I think that we have done most of the configuration here. So let's go to the mail package, to the mail server package. Okay, perfect. Now we have, we need to configure our domain. I will not go through everything, but we'll just make sure that everything is working. Okay, so let's go to the domain part. We need to add a domain. The domain is lab01.ovh. Description we don't need. And the default email address format, it's the account name, because that means that the email address will be my account, and at the end you will have the domain name. Okay, so we just click next. We will add our test user, and as you can see here, we'll have our test at lab01.ovh. This is just perfect. Now we have our domain and a user inside this domain to send and receive email. Now we also need to authorize the test user to use the mail server package, because there is a license issue. Of course, you need to, in terms of license, you need to activate a license for the new user. Okay, so we just activate the test user and we just call it say apply. Okay, perfect, this is done. Now let us see what do we have. Okay, let's talk about now the mail delivery. This is the most important part that we will talk about. So first of all, we need to enter a host name. Okay, this host name, technically it is not mandatory for receiving an email. Maybe the sender, the email sender, the server might check your SMTP banner before sending the mail, but usually I'm not sure that that's the case. But for the best practices, we need to add the entry. And what will be the information that we need to put, the FQDN, so the host name and the SMTP banner, it will be this one. Because why this one? Because there is an existing, you need to have an A record that exists with this name. Okay, the FQDN and the SMTP banner does not have to match your domain. So as you can see here, the domain was labo1.ovh, but the FQDN and SMTP banner, it's not the case. Okay, and this will work perfectly. So you need to enter this. So let's apply. That's great. Very important, you have to enable SMTP authentication. If you don't do that, you will be an open relay and you might get blocked. Your ISP might block your internet access if you are an SMTP open relay that will be used, for spamming reasons. Okay. I'm not going to go through all those settings, okay, because I do not master every of those settings, but this is a configuration that works for me. Okay, so this, you have the recipient per message, message hopes, and message size. Okay, so this is actually, it's a bit way too high. It should be lower. Now, in terms of delivery, this is the important thing. We are going to work on this tab here, because this is for my production environment. So you could put what we are going to see here. You can put this information here, but me, I cannot. I need to put it here because I have two domains working now. So just don't care about this. You just need to care about that. This is the only thing you need to care. Okay, so we're going to call the name lab01.ovh. The server will be ssl0.ovh.net. The port will be the 587. Always use TLS and authentication is required. So the account will be relay at lab01.ovh, and the password, I'm going to specify it now. And this you do not need to care. It's, as I said, because I have two domains, I need to specify this information. This you just don't care on your side. Okay. Okay, so like this, and perfect. Now we have configured our relay. Of course, we need to configure this also on our mail provider, okay? Because if we use this information, the email provider will just say, but I don't know you, okay? I don't know you, you cannot send an email. So we create an email address. The email address will be relay, the amount size 100 megabytes is enough because it's just to relay stuff, you know, it's not to receive things. I hope I'm not making a mistake in terms of password. And let's just click next, let's just click next, and I don't care, just continue. Okay, perfect. So now the email address is done. Perfect. So let's wait a couple of minutes and let's see where we are in our video. So we have done almost everything actually so far, so that's great. Now let's go back to our NAS and see what kind of features that we have. Okay, so general, we have configured everything. Okay, prohibit plain text authentication over unencrypted connection. This is pretty self-explanatory. The delivery for the relay configuration is done. So here it would have been ssl0.ovh.net, and here the account it would be relay at lab01.vh, I don't know what. Now for the relay control here, I'm not using anything like that. And for the security here, the security here is to help you protect against maybe someone who would try to connect to your system from an unauthorized manner. I will not go through those settings because it's not the point of this video, and I guess that the Synology Mail Server Admin Guide would help you better than my explanation. Unless you guys ask me, I will write this in the comment. So now in terms of service, so we have enabled the SMTP service with the account type local users because, well, I'm not inside a domain. We are going to use the port 25 because the external email servers like Yahoo or Gmail need to connect to our systems on this port. We're not going to use SMTP SSL because officially it is deprecated, and the port 465 should technically not be used for email. So I'm just not using it. And we're going to use the SMTP TLS with the port 587. In one of my videos, you have the explanation of the pros and cons of each of the protocols. Maybe the video number 22, I don't remember now. And so this is everything linked to send email, okay? Server to server and client to server. So your client devices to your Synology NAS. So this is on which interface it will listen to. And here we're going to, what kind of protocols we are going to allow for email synchronization, okay? So we're not going to use POP3. We're not going to use the standard IMAP protocol. We're going to use the IMAP SSL TLS protocol, so only the secure version. And we're going to prohibit plain text authentication over unencrypted connection. Okay, so this is the configuration of the different services. Now in the security tab, what do we have here? So we have the anti-spam engine that you can activate if you want. This will try to help you if there is maybe someone trying to send you spam. Of course, it will check, for example, if the IP address that sent the email is known as to be a spammer. So if we can see here, the anti-spam settings, so you can say that if an email has a score higher than, we will put it as spam tag into the subject. And then you actually have a lot of things. I cannot really go through everything because I'm not using it on my side because I'm not having any kind of spam so far. So I'm just not using it now. But there is a lot that can be configured. So you can use the post screen protection against spam. I think that this is linked to the, I think also for the IP addresses that are considered as sending spams. And you have the gray list setting. So this is quite good if you have a lot of spam, because the gray listing means that when someone tries someone legitimate tries to send you an email, the email will be rejected. The user will not know about it. And if a mail server is correctly configured, the sender email server will send the email again. Okay, so that means that this person who is trying to send you an email has a mail server that is well configured. Usually heavy spammers, they don't resend an email if it's not arriving to your inbox. Okay, if you have a message your system that will reject the email, the spammer will not send it to you again. Okay, so but the drawback of this is that if you have never received an email from this person from this domain, you will maybe lose half an hour, maybe, or 1 hour before the email finally reaches you. Okay, so now in terms of antivirus, well, also this at least you should configure it. I don't know if you have to buy McAfee to have it shown here, because I bought McAfee for my NAS, and if you don't buy it, I don't know if also it's displayed here. Otherwise you can use ClamAV. We will not go through the settings, but you can configure. And this is the authentication part, which is interesting. Maybe the last thing to talk about here is the SPF verification. So I had a good video explaining all of that, maybe the video 22, I think. You should give it a look. The SPF verification will make, when your NAS is going to receive an email, it is going to check if the IP address that was used to send this email, so the IP address of the email, the sender email server, if it is authorized or not by the domain owner. If it's not, then the email will be rejected. And there's also another thing, because I will actually show you with an example after. For example, there is what we call a SPF hard fail. That means that if the IP address is not in the list of the authorized sender, then the email will be rejected. If it is a soft fail, that means that the owner said that it should be considered a soft fail. That means that the sender probably just forgot to add this IP address, and then you could put it into a spam folder, okay, at the recipient side. But you can also reject soft fail. So this, you can override what the sender is asking you. I will make an example. Maybe you did not understand correctly what I'm trying to say, so just look at the video number 22 and we have an example after. And for the DKIM, we will also use this just to verify if that the email is signed, just to be sure that the email was not changed, was not modified by a hacker, for example. And also it can protect you against domain spoofing. Okay, so this is what you can verify in an email that someone is sending you. Okay, and I think that's it. Content scan, I will not go through this, and either for data protection. Now, what do we have? We can try to make a test, probably, because I think that we have configured everything. Just let me see how we can do that. So I will log in here. I'm just going to, so now we're going to make a test to see if we are able to send and receive an email with Yahoo. So I just need to check up the password. Okay, let's get inside. Up. Just waiting for the OTP. It's switching. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to write an email. Let's see. Okay, and I'm going to call it test, and let's send it. Okay, sending, it's in the draft. Let's cross our fingers. Okay, it has been sent. Now let's see if I am receiving the email. So what should I do? Maybe just a quick refresh here. Perfect. So we received it. So that means that we are well configured. Otherwise, it would have been in the spam folder. So let's reply to this. Reply. Okay, reply. Okay, and now let's see here if you're receiving the email. Perfect. So we just have received the email. Now, just before, I just would like to show you something. So we can have the headers and everything. OVH toolbox. Not OVH toolbox. Oopsie. MX toolbox. Let's go and see what kind of information we have. Analyze headers. And let's see, analyze. Okay, perfect. So there is something actually missing here. Let me see. Is normally there is yes, I know why. Sorry guys. How can I do this? I think it did not check. I'm not sure it's reading the correct header. Okay. Nope, so this I do not understand, so I'm just going to make I'm going to make another test because something seems to be missing. Okay, so I'm just going to delete that, do it another time. There is something that I would like to show you. Because the analyzing headers is very important, especially if you think that you might have a problem. It's an important part. So maybe I did something wrong here. Okay, no recipient. Okay, so I have made what did I do here? Okay, so this is good. Okay, this should work. Okay, sending, being sent, perfect. Okay, so we have it. I'm not going to reply to this. You have seen that the reply was also, that everything was working. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, great. So here, as you can see, in terms of delivery quality, we are not good. There is no SPF alignment, no SPF authentication passed, no DKIM and alignment and authentication. Okay, so everything failed, but we are still being delivered, luckily. But we need to correct that. Okay, so no DMARC record, no DKIM signature, and no alignment. So everything here is wrong. here in the SPF, we see there is no SPF record, and lab 01 of it does not designate permitted sender host. Okay, so here we have actually, well, you know, we are not at our best possible. Okay, so the authentication result here, as you can see, it's null, 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 because there is nothing that we have put in place. So now let's do it. Okay, so we need to add in our to have a better deliverability with our emails, we need to create the SPF records. Okay, so I have put in the presentation the content that we need to use, which is here. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this. So we're going to add an entry that we can say SPF, but I prefer to have a text entry, and this will be the value. So here you just put it like this, nothing special. This means that I am going to rely on the SPF record of this domain, and every email that is sent with servers of this domain will be considered as authorized. Okay, and if there is anything that is not allowed, then I'm going to ask Yahoo to drop the email. I'm going to ask him to reject the email if the sender is not in the authorized list. If I put a tilde, what is it? Oh, not this one. No, how do I put this now? Okay, oops. So if I put this one, Yahoo I will ask Yahoo if the sender IP address that is in OVH is not in the list, then you should still accept it, but put it in the spam folder. Of course, Yahoo or Gmail, they can do whatever they want. They are not obliged to to listen. They're not obliged to listen to you, okay? But at least you can have better deliverability if you are strict. Okay, so I'm going to put the -all. So this is the goal of the include. Okay, so I'm not going to put each and every IP of the OVH mail provider, because first of all, I don't know them and it's not my responsibility. So I'm going to rely on what they have done themselves. This is extremely important, guys, very important. I think that's all for the SPF record. Okay, if you had an ISP subscription that allowed you to send an email and you have a fixed IP, you could say here, instead of include, you could say IP4 dot the IP address of your NAS -all, for example. So this is the first part. Now let's go for the how do you say, for the DKIM. Okay, so the DKIM, so you will use cryptography so that your NAS can sign the emails, so that the server of the recipient can verify that there was no domain spoofing and that the email was not modified in transit. So let's do this. So let's go back to the domain. Let's go back to OVH. Let's go to advanced. And here we have to say, okay, I'm going to enable DKIM signing on outbound emails. You need to create a DKIM selector prefix. This is an arbitrary value that will be used so that the receiving server can check the public key. It's just, some kind of a location to help the server. So let's say that it's NAS. You can put anything you want. I'm going to generate a public key. And it will be generated. Please update the public key to the DNS record. And if you want to continue, select a DKIM length. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, select a length. It did not ask me for a length. I don't understand. Okay, so never mind. Now I'm going to put this key. So I'm going to copy it. I think I may have forgotten something because I don't remember how to put the value. Do I have it here? Okay, so I forgot something. Never mind. I'm going to say to say like this. Copy. Oopsie, this is not good. Just to be sure. Copy. Okay. Okay. And now let's go to our DNS. We're going to add another entry. I'm going to use a predefined, it will be done through the graphical user interface and not through a text record like before, because it does not work on the OVH platform. But actually, we don't care about that. We can just do it like this. We will put here first, I'm just going to put the key. Okay, I'm going to put this one, I'm going to put this, I'm going to explain all this after. And if I'm not mistaken, I should put, this is the important part, you should have this. Okay. So the NAS is the selector that we have created just before. And now we have to add also the ._domain key. And that's it, the TTL by default. We will explain all this before. Type of services, all, test mode disabled, and this is not valid for the subdomain. Okay, so let's do this. So now we have published our DKIM key, and our NAS will use its private key that you don't see. It will use a private key to sign the email. Now there is one last thing. The DMARC is something that we need to put also. So we're going to say to our recipient, the server of the recipient, what to do if there is a problem with the email. Okay, so this is a complicated topic, so please watch the video number 22 to have more details, because I don't even remember everything I talked about last time. Sorry. So now we have to also to publish our DMARC record. Let me see. Add an entry. This can be, if I remember well, a text entry. Okay. So we have to enter this. It is mandatory to have this underscore DMARC, and of course this is the value that we are going to put inside. This is the value. I don't remember if I need to put this at the end now. Okay. I will explain all this. So the version DMARC 1 you have to put. I will actually, you know what? I'm going to explain all of this after. Now let's see how can we test this before sending an email. I think that we have a DMARC. Okay, let's see if our DMARC policy is all right. So what is the domain? The domain is lab01.ovh. DMARC lookup. Let's see. To see if there is a mistake in the syntax, for example. Okay, so it said that everything here is in green. It explains, as you see, the version. So if you like some explanation, you can actually pause the video and see here the detail. Okay, so this is great. This is great. Now this was the DMARC. I'm not sure that we have. I'm trying to see. Let's see, MX lookup. No, not MX lookup. Going to see up. Do we have SPF record lookup? Perfect. Let's go. So we're going to check if our SPF record is okay. Perfect. We have our record, and all the checks are okay. And I think for the DKIM, is there something for the DKIM lookup? Oh, perfect. DKIM lookup, let's go. And okay, so this is maybe because I don't know the syntax, because usually you have to specify how do you say, I'm going to try something. NAS not, no, I'm not sure, this seems wrong. Okay, so never mind. So now let's send again an email. No, not from here, but from here. Let's send an email again. Let's call this test final, because, well, we have done a lot of things so far. And let's see. Okay, it has been sent. Let's refresh. Okay, final test. Let's go into the command guide. Up. Analyze headers, and bim bam boom, let's analyze the headers. Okay, so there is a problem that I have. I don't understand why. Every time I'm having the SPF authenticated or authentication, that failed, which is very strange, because it means that this IP address, which is the sender IP address, which is the OVH mail server, it's like if it's not authorized to send an email. But so you can see here we have DKIM record, DKIM signature, blah blah blah. But here, this actually, you see, it's SPF, it says pass, because the domain of labo1.ovh designates this IP address as a permitted sender. So the result is okay. As you can see here, this is the authentication result. This is, you know, the combination of everything. So we have a DKIM that passed, the SPF that passed, and the DMARC that passed. Okay, so in case of problem, I'm asking Yahoo to put it in quarantine, to quarantine if it's a subdomain, but I'm not using a subdomain, so it's only, you know, labo1.ovh. And this is the disposition. So what the Yahoo email server did with my email, so it says none. So that means that the email got received. So it should not go to the spam folder. It was received in the, you know, user folder, the inbox of the recipient. So as you can see here, everything seems to be working. So that's great. So actually, this video is pretty over, I guess, because we can see that we passed every checks. We're able to send and receive emails, and Yahoo has also a strict policy on spam. We were able to bypass the SMTP 25 restriction of our ISP, which is, well, great. And I think there is maybe something else that you could see. This is how I constructed or more details of my, you know, SPF record. Okay, so as you can see, I have used an include, and an include means that I'm going to include the SPF record of the domain as valid sending sources. So everything that is handled by this one, by the SPF record that is handled by OVH, I will implicitly authorize their servers. Otherwise, I can also find their systems, and I could put all this, but I don't see the point. You know, I'm just going to use an include because it is dynamically updated every time, you know, there is a change at the OVH mail platform. And this is the difference that you can read for the dash all or tiled all and everything. I'm not going to go through all this because it is way better explained in the other video. And this is the DKIM. So this was just to say that you need to have your selector S. This is not my UTM, it was NAS. It is used to locate the key in the DNS, because actually just to finish, if you check here, NAS, as you can see, oopsie, when you sign, when the NAS is going to sign the email, it's going to put the selector value, and is going to put the domain. So that means that the Yahoo server is going to take the domain here and is going to search for this selector so it can find the public key, so it can verify the signature. Okay, so this is how it works in a couple of lines. And this is all the other information. You may not need to know it completely to make it work, because you don't have the handle on everything with the Synology NAS. Okay, so, and here you have also the same thing, some explanation of DMARC that I will not go completely on it. There is the notion of alignment and authentication. What do we have? So this is the line that we entered on our record. Okay, so that means that the policy is going to apply to emails coming from domain or subdomains, and subdomains, because here I've put P and SP. And this, you have the alignment mode. So it means that the I'm using, I think, a ASPF. So it means that the sender domain, the from, must strictly match the M from the return path address. Okay, so the return path address is what you have seen here. Okay, so that means that this address must match the from. Okay, and the from is what the user sees when he receives an email, you know, from blah 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 at test at lab 01.ovh. So this is the from. Okay, and I also use the S for the DKIM, and again the what the user sees, the from, must match the domain parameter in DKIM. Then you have the percentage of the emails on which the policy should apply. What kind of reporting I'm going to do. So I would like that the Yahoo email server or Gmail server notifies me if there is an error either in DKIM or in SPF. You can have the reporting interval, because you can ask if you enter your email address here on the RUA, they will send you reports to the one to the you have reports from Yahoo or Gmail, for example, telling you that an email was sent from this IP, and this is the result of SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. And with this report, you can see, for example, if you have misconfigured something, because you should not have any fails. And if you have a fail, that means a fail somewhere. Either you forgot something, either you misconfigure something, or someone is forging your domain to send spam. Now, what is the final thing to talk about? Let's see. Now we could talk about the some redundancy that we can have with the POP3 retrieval function. Okay, so in this situation, with all that we have configured, if our NAS goes down, our internet connection goes down for too long, if someone tries to send us an email, it will be lost forever. So I'm going to show you guys how we can have some redundancy in case of problem. So in the first situation, we are having direct SMTP connection. And what we are going to do is that we are going to simulate a problem with our NAS, and we're going to see how we can have this redundancy. So we will need multiple things. As you remember, probably, if you remember, we have in our MX record two kinds of two MX records. The first one, which has the highest priority, so the priority number 1, is the address of the NAS. If the NAS goes down, the sender server is going to look at the second priority MX record. And as you remember, the second priority MX record is the mail provider. So imagine now there is a problem with your NAS. How will you protect yourself against loss of emails? And also how you will recover those emails. And this is what the POP3 retrieval is very important. So this is a settings that is only an administrator can enable, and if the administrator enabled this, every users can configure what is called the POP3 fetch. So not the POP3 fetch, and the administrator settings is this one. The allow users to receive email from external POP3 mail servers. And this I'm just going to put, for the sake of this video, a receiving interval of 1 minute. Now, we have activated this feature, perfect. Now, there is the second thing. There is, I need to close this. There is no user configured. As you can see here, I had a problem with the video and I had deleted the relay account. For each account on your NAS that you would like redundancy for, you need also to create an email account on your mail provider. This is important. If there is no email account, the email will never arrive somewhere because your NAS is down and your mailbox is not existent on your mail provider. So if you have 3 users on your NAS and you would like those 3 users to have redundancy for the emails, you need to have 3 accounts here. Technically, you need to have 4 accounts because one is the relay account and the other 3 are those user account. So unfortunately, I do not have the possibility to have multiple email accounts, so I can only have one. So I have deleted the relay account and we are going to create the test user here. We don't need a lot of space. I'm going to put the password here, okay, and we will have here our mailbox for the test user at lab01.ovh. So now this is done. Now what we need to do, we need to simulate a problem with our, this is the second part. We need to configure the POP3 retrieval function. POP3 fetch, we need to add here. Okay, the email is test at lab01.ovh. The server is ssl0.ovh.net on the port 995. The username is the email address and the password is what we have configured just now. It should always be secure and we would like to delete the original copies on the POP3 server. Okay, we need our, when the connection is lost, we need our emails to be stored on the mail provider. Then when everything comes back, we want our NAS to retrieve the email and delete it from the OVH server because, well, we don't need it. And we're going to say that we will take everything. So let's say okay. Now let's say okay. Perfect. Okay, so now let's simulate this connection problem. So we're going to say that the SMTP port is blocked. So the Yahoo email server will not be able to contact us. So let's try. Perfect. Test backup. Let's send it and let's wait. So it should arrive soon. So what is going to happen is that the Yahoo mail server, the sender server, is going to see which it's going to check the MX record and take the one which has the lowest priority, I mean the highest priority, which is the one with the lowest number, so number 1, and it points to our NAS. It will try to connect a couple times. It will see that it's not possible, So it will take the second one, you know, in the order, and it's going to deliver the email to our mail provider, because the mail provider is always on. You know, it has probably a better service level agreement, you know, uptime, not uptime, no, a better stability than our home internet and NAS. So if I'm not mistaken, we just received the email at our mail provider. That's perfect. So just remember, I forgot it, if I have already said it, you need to have, for each user for which you would like redundancy, you need to create a mailbox at the mail provider. So that will make you two mailboxes, one on the NAS and one on the mail provider. And then when your email connection, your internet connection, or your NAS will be up again, the POP3 retrieval service is going to make it here as read, and then you should receive it soon here, and then it will get deleted. So we are just going to wait for that part, and I think it will be done for the redundancy part. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Perfect. So we just received it, and I guess that if we wait maybe a minute, it should get deleted. Perfect. And now it got deleted. Great. Okay, so for the last part that I did not test yet on my side, so we're going to create an account to configure the account in Outlook. It will be an IMAP account. Let's see all this. So it will be some IMAP, IMAP S. So it's going to be SSL TLS because it is implicit. It's going to be start TLS because it is an explicit, encryption for the service of 587. Okay. And now let's see if it works. Just put the password. And perfect. Done. And there we go. Okay, guys. So I'm happy because we were able to make a complete configuration of the network infrastructure, the network configuration, the DNS configuration, how to improve your email deliverability with SPF, DKIM, DMARC. We used the smart host. We tested the redundancy. We tested the Outlook also, how to configure which settings, and it just works. So well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any kind of questions, well, just ask me and I will see if I can answer them. If you like this video, please don't forget to like it and to subscribe, and see you next time for another video. Bye bye.